we welcome our next guest. I'm sorry, I don't have my lineup in front of me. Please tell me your name.
Theo
Riede. All right, we got Teo's mic on. I just wanted to make sure that I was pronouncing it correctly. Theo Riede is a Palmer Home volunteer music teacher.
Yes.
What all does that involve?
Well, it involves getting the kids introduced.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to move your mic just a little bit closer so everybody can hear. There we go.
It gets the kids introduced to music, to take the fear of, I want to play an instrument, to the point where I'm playing an instrument and I'm having a good time.
That's incredible. It's cool to see kids develop their musical talents.
Yes.
But also to see them go from starting from scratch, whether it's playing the piano or guitar or violin or the flute or whatever it is, and then see them grow.
Yes.
And sometimes there's some uncomfortable things you have to listen to along the way, but to see them get to that point where they've got the confidence to sit down and play a song or be part of a group, whether
Yes.
it's a band or, like a marching band or a different type band, it really is rewarding to see that growth.
Well, I started playing instruments when I was 8 years old, and the first step into introducing a child to music is help them realize that they have the talent already. And all we're doing is showing it to them. And we do everything. We start off just with ukuleles, and I've taught them how to tune their own ukuleles.
Okay.
We've given a performance already. We do handbells.
Okay.
We do songs with just hand motions and sing. We get up and dance. I know when you're 66 and you're getting up and dance with 8-year-olds,
that may be a great way to connect with kids.
Exactly. And I give them 3 things I tell them I want them to do. So the first thing, in a room when you're sharing your musical talents and your introduction to talking to other people through music, is you have to smile. The second step is I want you to sing. And the last thing I want you to do is play the instrument.
Okay.
I said, but all that will come natural. And you would just see them blossom. And when I get there, it is the fastest hour of the week for me. And the kids tell me that this is the best hour of the week for them. There is no test.
Well, that's a good start.
That's a good start. There is no test. And then also, I prove to them that the joy they get from sharing their music builds every week. And they can share it with other people. And everything that we get in the way of instruments, I said, these are yours. Music stands, all the music books, ukuleles, handbells. When they actually graduate, all that's theirs. It's not mine.
Yeah, that's incredible. Yeah. Is the ukulele a good bridge to playing a guitar?
Yes, it is a very good bridge because, what I show them is that if you follow the principles I give them with the ukulele, it goes to the guitar. You can go to the bass, violin, upright bass, all these different stringed instruments. And I said, I'll bring them in. I brought in a banjo ukulele, and I said, your turn, you get to play this. I've never played this a day in my life. Mr. Taylor said, play it just like you did the ukulele. And they're like, what? And so that makes them really excited. So every 2 weeks I bring a different instrument in for them to try out.
One of the things, Lance gives me a hard time sometimes. Lance, you pipe in if you want to about my musical taste because we're divergent. He was talking passionately yesterday about the Grateful Dead. He makes fun of me for liking Broadway music, but, it's across the board for me with whether it's country or classic rock or, Broadway or whatever. But there's music has the ability to connect with people in a way that sometimes words don't.
Exactly. And I encourage the kids to bring a song. Tell me a song that you want to do, and then we will work it up, and then we will sing it. And they're amazed because I break it down. I said, it's very simple. I said, if you can sing it, we can play it.
That's incredible. It really, really is. One of the things that we talked earlier this morning, we have launched the Paul Gallo Memorial Fund to help fund the extracurricular activities for some of the kids, which includes music. I mean, you've got kids that I'm assuming graduate from that hour a week that you're doing where you're working with them to perhaps they're taking piano lessons or guitar lessons on a more consistent basis?
I have some friends at church who will offer guitar after school. I do it during they're in school.
Okay.
So, but we are buying guitars. If a child says, I want to learn this instrument, if I can get it for them, I'll get it for them.
That's fantastic.
So
it really certainly is a cool thing, and it kind of speaks to the well-rounded nature that we're talking about. When we talk about the work that's happening at Palmer Home, it's that whole child initiative, and the things that they're interested in are part of that.
Exactly. I mean, they.
How'd you first get involved? How'd you first get involved with Palmer Home?
I was on the square, Hernando Square, and I saw Annabelle, and she had the booth for Palmer Home, and I told Anna, she goes to my church, and I said, you know what your Palmer Home really needs is a ukulele class. And I said, I will. Yeah, that's
okay.
Good. And she says, okay, well, who's going to teach it? I said, I'll teach it.
Okay.
And it went from there, and then I told people what I wanted to do. We got ukuleles. We got in there. You know, it was very exciting, and it's still exciting every week. You know, if I see the kids out in town or out and about, they just run up to me. My wife says, those kids love you.
Well, that's fantastic that you've been able to connect with these kids by taking your talents and sharing them with them. That's one of the things that we talked about. We talk about time, talent, and treasure. And there are multiple ways that you can get involved with Palmer Home for Children. Theo, thanks so much for coming by.
Yes.
Great to meet you, and thanks for the work you're doing with the boys and girls here at Palmer Home.
Thank you.
We got more coming up with you. It's the 13th annual.